Hey, what is it? Saturday, isn't it? I'm not supposed to be out here, but I am. I'm just out here goofing around in the studio working on this piece for Monday Methods. I think I'm on the right camera. I'm kind of trying to check all this stuff because things are going to be a little bit different on Monday. So I figured while I was out here, I might as well give it a dry run. And why is that showing that? Let's see. I think it's just, oh, I know why. Just because it's old school. Let me get that bigger. I hope everybody's having fun today. I'm out here working and sweating. It's not hot, but you can see I look like I'm soaking wet, and I am, because it's humid as all get out. It's actually quite comfortable in here in the shop. I'm just trying to figure out right now why this screen looks weird on this particular computer, and I don't know why. It should be working, right? What's the deal here? It says I'm not there. Well, I'll tell you what. Let's go back here. Since I'm not supposed to be here anyway, maybe I'm supposed to click on that. You'd think I knew what I was doing by now, in theory. But I'm out here playing with this piece for Monday Methods. Here we go. Turn that one on. And this is not feeding to Facebook, right? There we go. Okay. Now life is good. I'm out here playing on this big old piece of sycamore. And it's got the big giant crack in it. And it's right off the end of the log. It's the end grain, end cut. And it's been laying out in the warehouse. And it's soft and punky. But it's got a lot of interesting color in it. And so I came up with this idea the other day that I was going to make this hybrid platter, right? And yeah, it's not the greatest piece of wood. There are those who think that it should be in the firewood pile, but I completely disagree. And so what I'm doing is I'm actually making, this is the backside, which will be the gripping point in the backside that eventually you'll never see. Front sides are obviously around here. I'm actually turning the backside into a resin mold. All right, so that's what I'm turning right now. I finally got the piece round and trued up, and it's not smooth or anything, and I have no illusions that it's going to be right now. Just because of the nature of it, I can't turn it very fast. I started out about 150 RPMs, and then got to 250, 350, somewhere in there. At one point, see, I got this big giant crack, and it's actually kind of scary working with this crack. But I'm not turning it very fast, and I'm not doing anything that's inherently dangerous with working with this crack. But I did actually turn the volume, the speed knob, a little too far, and I could actually hear the crack start to separate from the centrifugal force. So it is something you have to be really, really careful of. But I'm not turning very fast, and all I'm really doing is making the mold for this piece. So if you're curious about how this works, I've got a little rim here, and the best camera for you to see that is probably, let's see, I've got everything turned around in the shop right now, and so I got to figure out which one. I think it's, and I'm going to have to walk in front of some of them. I think it's going to be that one. No, let's go there. I believe. Which will show you this little rim that I've got. Yeah, here we go. That's the one. So this rim is about 1/4 of an inch thick. And then, let me step back around over here. I know this is the camera I'm going to have to walk in front of. So this little rim is about 1/4 of an inch thick and about 5/8 of an inch deep. And then you see a little step. Hopefully you can see the little step right here that comes up. Now, this is 3/8 from here to here. So this is all going to get poured with resin. So the whole back of this piece is going to be resin. This still has to be turned away. And so I'm making the mold. I'll actually fill this crack probably with my Play-Doh. And I'm not going to fill it completely because I don't want it filled on the front side. Okay, over here where my hand is, I don't want this filled yet because the resin, if I let it pour all the way through, would be super hard. And I know there's going to be, I see some green, because the light's not really dialed in for, let's see if I can adjust that out. The lights aren't, it's not normal here today with the lighting and all for the green screen. So hopefully that'll go away. I don't want the resin to come all the way through there. So I'll fill that when I actually pour this guy. So I'm actually making a mold on the back side. Let me walk in front of this camera because there's no other way. I'm actually using the whole piece to make a mold. Yeah, that's what I'm up to. And I got to turn away the middle part here. So I thought I would test the cameras, give a little stream, throw it up on all the channels just for fun. And then I can go back and take a look at it. And if anybody wanted to watch today, on Saturday, they're welcome to. And I'm just going to do this for a few minutes, and I'll turn the cameras back off. And then I'll go back to, once I do this, I'm going to take it off and pour the resin so that it's ready come Monday. So I don't know if anybody's actually even around. And I see there's about 3 people at least on the Spiracraft page. Say hello in the chat box if you want to there in the comment column. Just let me know who you are, that you're here. I'm having fun, like I say. It's actually a pretty piece of wood, but again, this is my mold, and it is ingrained. I mean, this is just chopped right off the log, okay? So it's not the easiest thing in the world to turn. It's chippy and chunky and all those good things, but I don't really care because it's got a bigger plan in life, a larger mission. And for turning it, I think that camera that's over there is probably going to be the best one. Like I say, I've changed everything around. So I think if I go to what's normally the overhead camera, that way you'll be able to see right in here as the tool works. It's coming from a different angle. Okay. Again, everything's different. I may stick my head in the way. But those of you who never see, who don't come to Monday Methods, I've got this on my personal page running. So any of you people who are watching on my personal page, say hello. It's all great. This is what I do on Mondays, and I get out here and have a ball. And let's turn a little bit more. So I'm going to work my way across, and I've got this really fancy method of measuring the depth here across the piece. So I'll take, I'm using my Easy Wood tools, the carbide tools, the square cutters to measure my depth. All right. So that's my little cheap bar because I don't know where my long metal ruler is, my metal yardstick. So I'm going to take a look, keep taking some more material off of this guy. Now this crack really isn't that big a deal. It really isn't. Now one thing that's interesting, because there's so much mass here, I can't actually turn it off. I just have to turn the speed down. So I just leave it right here, and we'll bring her up to speed. And if you got any questions about what I'm up to, by all means, holler. Throw a little comment in there, because I can look at my little chat box thingy there and see if anybody's got any questions. So we're turning just about 400, not very fast. Okay. And I'm kind of eyeballing this, and I want it to get a little deeper. Then I'm going to cut real deep down inside, right in the very center. I think maybe I was turning a little faster before. Let's see if we can't. It kind of shakes the whole shop. I'm watching my soda shake over there. Can't go too fast. This piece is what, 3 years dry. It's 4 inches thick. Let me see if I can adjust some of that green out of the, I don't know if I can or not. That might be a little better. Oh, that's worse, that's worse. With the lighting changed, the camera angles, it may not be perfect. But hey, I'm not even supposed to be out here on TV today, right? So, anyway, back to what I was doing here. And this is my mold. And what I'm going to do is pour this thing full of epoxy resin. All right, I'm going to change gouges here. This in the center here is kind of weird. It's turning super slow in the middle. It's only turning the true 200 in the middle there. I actually came up with this built-in mold idea yesterday driving over to UPS. I had some things that I wanted to get out to customers so they'd have it first of the week, so I ran over. Usually I just have them come pick up. And so here's what happens. There's the speed all the way off, and even with the motor braking, it just spools and spools and spools for a long time. So I'll just bring it to a halt there. Again, I'm not worried about this. Matter of fact, I don't mind the texture. I want all the bite that I can get. As you can see, some of the wood tears up pretty bad. Some of it actually cuts pretty smoothly, which is fine. And I'll spin this around and show you the other side when I get done playing with this. But I'm going to cut a deeper recess right here in the middle, so I have more resin for strength for the tenon. It's actually going to be a recess. It's not going to be on a tenon. It's going to be on a recess. And I thought about putting making it deep enough that it comes through on the other side when we turn it away on Monday. I'm going to raise that up a little bit more. The other tools I've been using are the carbide tools, and like I could reach right in here now. It's a little below center. Oh. See what this carbide tool does at a low speed in the center, because the center is going the slowest, and that's where it cuts the worst. Oh, about 4 1/4. See, it just kind of chunks it out because it's so slow. But it does do the trick. And that just kind of tears things up. Then we'll go back to trying to use the tool. It's got a sharp edge on it. Again, like I said, this is unofficial. I just jumped out here today. Well, been out here working all morning, all day. But I just thought I'd go ahead. I actually wanted to see, like I said, what this, if you're just popping by, I just wanted to see what this looks like on the cameras. I got the lay turned in different ways, and the light's all different right now. So hopefully it's not looking too crazy. I'm going to take that down some more. Somebody said that I could stabilize this, and it'd be a great piece to stabilize in resin. A little bit lower here on my tourist. Well, I got a nice little spike right there in the center, but I don't have a vacuum chamber to stabilize it in that's 25 inches in diameter, however big this guy is now. I wonder how big it is now. Let me see. I haven't even checked the final diameter. So now it's down to 21 and they'll call it 21 and a half. So start out at 26. It's down to 21 and a half after I got it round and got it cleaned up and all that good stuff. Still be a nice sized platter. It's going to be fun. Again, like I said, it's a hybrid. So I'm going to start going deeper right in about here, maybe even a little bit bigger. And I want to take some more of this off. I'm just eyeballing across here. There we go. And just curious. When I'm playing, I like to try different things. I figure I got nothing to lose if I'm just having fun. Now, I need to move that tool rest in a little bit closer. You'll notice I've got the outboard set up as well. Or fire back up. Oop, not too fast, Brad. That's the wrong. Not the one that I wanted. This stuff is really soft and punky because it's been spalting / rotting for 3 years. This tree was actually spalted. If you saw the pictures I posted, it was actually spalted when I first cut it. Which is what gives it its nice colors. And see, that's that one. And the other one I'm getting in the way of. I'm kind of looking at the other camera angles. If I stay out of the way on this one, I'm going to switch to that one for a minute, just because I want to see what it looks like after the fact. So if I stay over here out of the way, you see some of that just comes off in chunks. So this will all be resin on the back side. Let's take a look there, stop, and check our depth. It's kind of nice to be able to use your tool just to and not worry about the finish. Bring her to a stop. Oh, fresh air for me. So I'm on that camera. Let me go out front here. Let me go out front. Everything's a little bit different today, like I said, just because I changed all the cameras around. I got my super fancy straight edge here. Okay, so that's right at 1 inch, and I think I'm pretty happy with that. So that'll be 1 inch deep in the center. You know, I'll make a recess for the tenon that's 3/8 of an inch. So I'll have plenty of material there, and it flares. I may flare it a little bit more. So this resin is going to be 1 inch deep in the very center, and then come all the way out, and then it drops over, rolls around, and there's another 3/8 inch of an edge right here, kind of a band, if you will. And so that's what's going to hold this big giant crack together. And there are numerous cracks in the piece, and that's what's going to hold all that together as well. Maybe make just a couple more cuts across here, and I'm actually pretty much happy with where that's at. So let me cut across there real quick, and then I'll spin it around and show you the front side, what's going to be the front side. Even though a lot of that's going to get turned away, I'll just spin the headstock around. And you can see what the other side kind of looks like. and then I'll probably stop. Just because, like I said, I didn't really plan to be out here for a long time, or on live. Just thought I'd turn it on and see what's going on. Nothing official. Just out here having fun and making a mess and getting ready for Monday. Okay, and since I cut that, I'll take a little bit more out of here. Okay, so my mold is complete. My mold process, my mold plan. So now my piece is the mold. Got plenty of texture, so the epoxy will grip it really, really well. Yeah, look what you found on Facebook, Chris. I'm just out here having fun, getting ready for Monday. If you just popped in, I wanted to see what the different camera angles are like because I had to change everything around on the lathe and all. And if you missed it, go back and watch what I've been talking about. I've turned my mold for this piece. So this is the actual mold I'm going to pour the resin in to make the back of the platter. And that's what will make the tenon and hold the thing secure, because it's a sketchy piece of wood, but it's really pretty. Now the front side, actually I'll just go ahead and take it off of here. So the front side will get turned down real thin eventually, and then the big crack will get filled and along with some of the smaller ones in a decorative fashion. Out here. So there's kind of what the front looks like, and I don't know what the best place to set that is. Let it sit on that crack. There we go. So I haven't turned much here. I probably will turn a little bit more of this after I turn the live stream back off. Clean this up and see what it's really going to look like. I've got another couple of these pieces I'm going to test for dyeing. What's going to look like when I put some dye on the finished front side. So I want to test that. Tim Thomas says, "Is that a real window? If so, how cool? If not, it's an awesome backdrop." It is a real window, but it's not in this building. So it is part of the chroma key effect. The cool thing about my window there is the barn is actually on the way to Chromacraft, where the Chromacraft epoxy resins and all the colorants that I carry in Spirocraft. So it's a cool old barn in a pecan grove. And then the window I found, on the internet in stock photo stuff. And so I built the window and changed the colors and built it into the backdrop. Because if I turn off the chroma key, that's just a green. There's just a big piece of green fabric up there. But it gave this whole set, if you will, some depth. And I'm actually kind of proud of it. So I'm glad you like my window. It's fun to do things like that. It makes it different. It's not just. I started out with a banner, which is fine. But I've always had this dream of doing a green screen in the background, and I can show videos on here and all kinds of cool things like that now. So it's pretty neat. So I'm going to clean this up a little bit after I turn the cameras off, because you won't be able to see anything anyway. And then I'm going to put it up on the tabletop, and I'm going to pour this whole section. It'll sit flat. It'll sit like so. Maybe I can set it down here. I don't have anywhere good set up to show you exactly how I'm going to do it. But I knew I couldn't do all this on Monday either. Let me do this. Let me knock a hole in here real quick. You might be able to see it. I knew that I couldn't get all this done on Monday, so I thought I would take it to a certain level today to get it prepped enough and get the resin poured. If I get the resin poured today, then it will be cured enough by Monday to turn the tenon, or the recess, in it. And there we go. So I'll set this up on the table here. and I will fill this crack. Here's the crack. You can see my hand going in here. I'll fill this, but I won't fill it all the way out to the front. All right. I'm going to leave this open. I might fill this with, I was thinking about this while I went to lunch today. I might fill this crack with expanding foam, insulation foam, just for the tool to have something to go across. If I fill this with resin all the way through, like if I sealed this off, which I could easily do, and then pour the resin and let it go through this crack all the way down, this wood is so soft, the bounce of the tool coming off of that resin ribbon, if you will, would be pretty outrageous. So I don't want the resin out on the front side, at least not to start with. I want to just be turning the softer wood. Again, I could fill it with foam. I mean, if I don't have enough Play-Doh over in the cabinet here to seal that up, I'll go to the house or up the store and get some spray foam, and I'll spray it with foam because I can dissolve that with solvent and make it go away. But I'll pour all this. So here's the rim. This is I turned my own mold, and then it'll wrap around the corner a little bit. This is where my tenon will be, or my recess. I keep saying tenon because I always do tenons, but I'm going to do a recess on this. So I've got deeper here for more strength. So I'll do a little bit of math to figure out how much resin I need to fill this. And I've played with different ideas about colors. I couldn't, I was going to do it just all black. And then I thought, well, maybe I had all these grand illusions, but I'm not going to do it on this one. I could cast a pattern like a star, and they do different things in there. But I think I'll save that for another. I've got several more of these. It's hard. The reason I'm doing this, it's really hard to find big pieces of wood, right? Most people can't find a 25-inch piece of wood that's cut as a blank off a tree because it takes a really big tree to get that, to get a good one. So anybody can get the end of a log. Now turning end grain, yeah, it's a pain in the neck, and it tears out, and it's not the best, and some people wouldn't even bother. But I'm always up for a challenge. So I thought I'd go ahead and do these end grains. Plus, I've saved them for 3 years. If I saved them that long, by golly, I'm going to make something out of them, right? So that's what I'm about. Like I said, I may fill this with foam. We'll see. I'll post pictures tonight or tomorrow, whatever happens for the rest of the day today, getting this poured with resin. And then I'm going to go watch NASCAR. I know that's what I'm up to. Because, like I said, it's not hot out here. It really isn't. It's quite pleasant. I've got the AC on. I've got the fan going. But it's super humid. And if you get out of the breeze of the fan at all, it gets really nasty. Well, anyway, I think that's it. I'm going to jump on out of here and figure out how to fill that up and do a little more turn on the other side here real quick. But anyway, just a quick jump on the live stream for Saturday, and I jumped through it on all the channels just to have fun, so those of you who don't see me at work normally could see what it is I do on Mondays when I'm not in the office. So I'm going to walk over there, and I'm going to turn the stream off. I see y'all. Hope you have a good weekend. Stay out of trouble, stay safe, and I'll see you on Monday. Bye now.